Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu's midnight marriage announcement, a love story that stopped the nation. It was a night no one in the Chinese entertainment world will ever forget. When the clock struck midnight, while most of the country was fast asleep, a single, unexpected message shattered the quiet. Both Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu, two of China's most beloved stars, had suddenly announced an emergency press conference. No one knew what it was about. The statement was short, almost cryptic. "There's something important we want to share directly with the public." There were no hints, no prior rumors of controversy, and no promotional context that could explain such an abrupt gathering. But within minutes, social media exploded. Fans flooded online forums with frantic questions. News outlets scrambled to send reporters to the announced venue in Beijing. Even rival celebrities and insiders were caught off guard, with many posting shocked emojis and cryptic messages like, "What's happening?" By 11:30 p.m., the streets outside the venue were packed. Fans stood shivering in the cold autumn air, holding banners, hoping to catch even a glimpse of their idols. Live streams from reporters and fan bloggers drew millions of viewers. It was chaos, confusion, and anticipation rolled into one sleepless night. The moment the doors opened. At exactly 12 a.m., the doors finally opened. A hush fell over the crowd as Zhao Lusi and Liu Wu stepped onto the small stage together. They stood side by side, no dramatic backdrop, no brand logos, no PR glitz, just a plain white curtain, a long table, and two microphones. Both wore simple, elegant black outfits, exuding calm and sincerity. Reporters whispered nervously, unsure what was about to unfold. The tension in the room was electric. Zhao Lusi, often known for her radiant smile and playful personality, looked poised but emotional. Her eyes glistened slightly under the harsh camera lights. Liu Wu, composed yet visibly tender, kept glancing toward her, as if silently reassuring her that they were in this together. When Lucy finally leaned into the microphone, her voice was soft but steady. "Thank you all for being here tonight. We know this is an unusual hour, and it wasn't planned long in advance. But there's something very important we want to share directly with you, something that matters deeply to both of us." The room fell completely silent. She paused, looked briefly at Leo, then continued. "We debated whether to do this quietly or publicly. But in the end, we decided that honesty is the best way." Leo nodded gently, taking over. "Over the years, you've supported us, not just as actors, but as people. Tonight, we're not here as co-stars promoting a drama. We're here as ourselves." Dozens of cameras clicked at once. Every movement, every blink, every breath was recorded. Even through the live stream, millions watching at home could feel the weight of the moment. The confession that changed everything. For a few seconds, no one spoke. The audience seemed to collectively hold its breath. Then, with a faint, nervous smile, Zhao Lusi said, "This isn't a scandal. It's something beautiful." Her words drew soft murmurs through the room. Leo reached out his hand toward her, not quite touching, but close enough for everyone to notice. He continued in a low, sincere voice. "Our lives have been intertwined in ways that go far beyond work. We met on set years ago, shared experiences, and slowly built a deep bond. Away from the cameras, away from the spotlight, something real grew between us." That was the moment everything clicked. Gasps rippled through the room. The speculation that had lingered for years, the undeniable chemistry, the stolen glances during interviews, the warmth between them, it was all true. And then came the revelation that turned midnight into magic. Zhao Lusi smiled through visible nerves, took a deep breath, and said, "We're here tonight to tell you that we're getting married." A room erupts in joy. The reaction was instant and overwhelming. The crowd gasped, cameras flashed like lightning, and some reporters literally stood up from their seats in disbelief. The live stream comment section exploded with messages like, "What? It's real!" and "Finally!" Fans watching from home cried, cheered, and posted thousands of clips that instantly went viral. Within minutes, hashtags like #ZhaoLusiLoaWedding and #MidnightLoveAnnouncement were trending worldwide. Leo and Lucy held hands as the reporters continued snapping photos, the flashes illuminating their intertwined fingers like a symbol of truth finally revealed. The story behind their love. Once the initial storm of shock began to settle, The two began sharing their story, not as celebrities, but as two ordinary people who fell in love. Leo spoke first. There were no grand gestures or dramatic confessions. It happened naturally. We became close friends, each other's confidants, and one day we realized we couldn't imagine our lives without one another. Lucy nodded, tears shimmering in her eyes. He's been there for me through everything, stressful shoots, personal doubts, moments of exhaustion. He was always the calm in my chaos. I can't imagine a future without him. Reporters asked how long they had been together. Lucy smiled mysteriously. Long enough to know this is the right decision. Leo added gently, we've always valued privacy. That's why we never made any public announcement earlier. But as we planned this next chapter, it felt right to share it openly, in our own way. It was simple, sincere, and utterly human. Lucy then shared a touching anecdote from their early days working together. One day on set, it was raining and I was exhausted. Without saying a word, he just put his jacket over my shoulders and walked away. It was such a small thing, but it stayed with me. That's when I realized how deeply kind he was. Leo smiled softly as she spoke, his gaze full of warmth. That quiet exchange, a memory from years ago, perfectly encapsulated the foundation of their love, mutual respect, gentleness, and understanding beyond words. Plans for the future. When asked about wedding details, Leo chuckled lightly, the tension finally lifting from his voice. We're not revealing the date just yet, but it will be soon. It will be something intimate, just our families and close friends. Lucy laughed, the sound ringing with genuine happiness. I still can't believe we're announcing it like this, but now that it's out, it feels real. They shared that they had spent months quietly preparing, not just for a ceremony, but for a new phase of life together, balancing careers, family expectations, and the relentless attention of the public eye. It wasn't easy keeping this a secret, Lucy admitted. But it was ours, something we could protect from noise and rumors. And now that it's out, we hope people will see it for what it really is, love. The emotional aftermath. By the end of the press conference, the atmosphere had completely changed. What began as a tense, uncertain gathering transformed into something celebratory and deeply emotional. Even the most hardened journalists couldn't hide their smiles. When the event ended, Lucy and Leo stood together, bowed slightly, and held hands tightly. Thank you for being part of this moment, Leo said sincerely. Your support has meant everything to us, Lucy added through tears. This is the beginning of a new chapter. Thank you for understanding, for cheering for us, and for being here, even at midnight. As they left the stage, the audience erupted into applause. Some reporters even shouted, "Congratulations!" A rare, heartfelt moment in an industry often dominated by cynicism. Outside, a sea of emotion. While the couple wrapped up inside, the world outside had already transformed into a festival of emotions. Hundreds of fans stood with flowers, signs, and tears streaming down their faces. Many of them had followed the two since their early acting days, through drama series, interviews, and public appearances where the chemistry between them was undeniable. I always believed in their connection, one fan told a reporter, sobbing with joy. This feels like watching the ending of a drama we've loved for years, except it's real. Another fan added, they chose midnight to share something genuine, away from the daytime chaos, just them and us. It feels intimate. Videos of fans celebrating spread across the internet. Laughter, tears, singing, and shouts of, "Congratulations Lucy and Leo," echoing through the dark Beijing streets. No one cared about the time anymore. The night belonged to love. A cultural earthquake. By morning, the announcement had become the top trending topic in multiple countries. News channels interrupted their programming to air special coverage. Analysts and cultural commentators replayed every moment of the conference. The way Leo looked at Lucy, the pause before her announcement, the subtle brush of hands. To the public, it wasn't just another celebrity marriage. It was a moment of truth in an industry often criticized for artifice and secrecy. Their decision to hold a midnight press conference, rather than a glossy daytime event, symbolized authenticity and courage. They didn't sell a story, one columnist wrote. They simply lived it. The timing, so raw and unexpected, gave it the feeling of a confession rather than a press stunt. Many saw it as a turning point for how Asian celebrities approach their private lives in the public sphere. After the spotlight. In the days that followed, both stars' agencies released a joint statement confirming the news. "We sincerely thank everyone for their warm wishes. Please understand that we will be keeping the wedding details private, as we wish to celebrate this new chapter with our loved ones in peace." Fans flooded the comment sections with congratulations, poetry, and fan art celebrating their journey. Old clips from their dramas resurfaced, behind-the-scenes laughter, quiet moments of eye contact, interviews where their answers seemed to sink unconsciously. Fans analyzed every detail like detectives, pointing out what they now saw as signs of love all along. Some even joked that Zhao Lusi and Leo Wu had given them the plot twist of the decade. Industry reaction. Fellow celebrities quickly joined in the celebration. Top actress Zhang Tianai posted on Weibo, "You two are proof that real love can survive fame. Congratulations." Director Chen Wei, who worked with both actors early in their careers, wrote, "I always knew something special connected them. It was visible even when the cameras stopped rolling." Fans across Asia, from China to Thailand to South Korea, created fan-made tribute videos celebrating the couple's on-screen and off-screen chemistry. Their wedding announcement transcended national boundaries, turning into a shared global experience of joy, nostalgia, and renewed faith in love stories. What makes this moment so powerful? So why did this announcement resonate so deeply? Perhaps because it defied expectations. It wasn't about glamour or perfection. It was about two people who fell in love quietly, away from fame's blinding lights, and then chose to share it in the most vulnerable way possible. It also symbolized transparency in a culture where celebrity relationships are often hidden or denied. Lucy and Leo's honesty, their decision to face the public together rather than through a PR statement, gave fans something precious: authentic connection. It reminded everyone that even those who live under constant scrutiny deserve love, tenderness, and a moment of truth. A love that redefines celebrity culture. By the end of that unforgettable night, the story of Zhao Lusi and Leo Wu wasn't just a trending topic. It became a cultural landmark, a reminder of the human heart behind fame. Their midnight confession transformed rumor into reality, secrecy into celebration, and two admired actors into one of Asia's most inspiring couples. In the weeks that followed, interviews, magazine covers, and documentaries revisited their journey. Yet what people remembered most wasn't the glamour, but the simplicity of it all. Two people sitting behind a table at midnight, speaking honestly about love. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't strategic. It was real. And in an industry built on scripts and illusions, that reality shone brighter than any spotlight ever could. Epilogue. The night the world fell in love again. As dawn broke over Beijing that morning, fans were still outside the venue, holding candles, singing softly, and waiting for one last glimpse. The air was cold, but hearts were warm. Somewhere behind the closed doors, Leo Wu and Zhao Lusi were probably breathing a sigh of relief. The secret was out, and the world had embraced it with open arms. Their story reminded millions why people still believe in love stories, why simple honesty still moves hearts, and why sometimes the most unforgettable moments happen not in daylight, but in the quiet, magical hours of midnight. That night, they didn't just announce a marriage. They announced a promise to each other and to the world that love, no matter how famous you are, is still the most human story of all.